Welcome, Queen. Who or what do you need to subtract? It's time to let it go. Have you ever experienced listening to a family member or maybe a friend complain about the state of their life, and as you tried to give them advice, you tried to help them out, they wouldn't listen, they wouldn't receive it? Isn't it frustrating? You know what though? Sometimes there are times that we say we want to move forward, we want progress, we want better in our lives, and then our actions keep us stuck where we are. And that's why today I'm going to be sharing 5 ways to determine when it's time to let go of a person or thing. Number one, it's toxic or bad for your health. So just think, if something is toxic, if something is bad for your health, that means that it's hurting you and not helping you. And although we may connect with certain people, even family members, there are times, there are seasons where being attached, associating with certain people is not good for us because they are toxic, they are negative, and they're having a negative impact on our lives, and it's preventing us from getting where we want to go. And the same can be said with certain things. We can grow accustomed to having certain things in our lives, and those things in one season may have brought us comfort, but now we're trying to go to a new level, and those things, they are not serving us well. So consider, if it's toxic or bad for your health, that it just may be time to let it go. Number two, it's confusing or ambivalent. And I want you to know that the Lord is not the author of confusion. So if you have a thing or if you have a person in your life that is keeping your mind just in a state of confusion, you don't know whether you're coming or going, you don't know whether it's going to be good or bad, you don't know whether it's going to be a day where things are on the up or things are going down. It's just, it could go either way. Confusing. Like I said, whether it's a person or a thing. To be in a constant state of confusion, that is not a positive or productive mindset to have. So consider, if you have a person in your life, no matter how long they've been in your life, if they're causing you to live life confused, it just may be time to let them go. And like I said, the same thing for if it's a thing. Because although things can serve us well, there are times when those things can become a burden to us. Number three, it's causing you to be stressed or struggle. Listen, again, whether it's a thing or a person, if it's causing you stress, if it's causing you to struggle, consider how are you going to next level your life if you're in a constant state of stress and struggle. That's the opposite of what you want. So take a moment and really reflect on the people that you spend the most time with and how those people make you feel while you're with them. How do they make you feel once they're gone? Once they're gone, are you finding yourself saying, "Whew, I'm so glad that's over"? Or are they building you up? Or are they keeping you in a mindset of constantly feeling stressed, constantly feeling as though you're struggling? Whether that may be struggling to communicate with them, struggling to understand them, struggling to just connect and relate, to really have progress in the relationship and in your life with them. Are they keeping you in a state of feeling stress or struggle? You just may need to let them go. Same thing for if it's a thing. Because like I said, sometimes we can clutch on and just hold on to things that we are familiar with, that we're accustomed to having. And those things are no longer helping us, they're hurting us. So consider that. Number 4, which ties into number 3, it has served its purpose. And this can be said again for people or things. Listen, everybody we meet in our life, they're not going to stay with us throughout our journey. And although sometimes we want them to, it's not about what we want, because sometimes the good Lord will see fit to where if we won't let them go, He will see fit to have them walk out our lives. And then we can find ourselves wondering what happened. And in some cases, it's not that the person was evil or bad or that they meant to hurt you. It's simply that God was able to see that you were unable or unwilling to let them go, and He needed them to exit your life so He could get your attention to focus you on where it is that you need to go. Again, same thing for things. If there is something in your life, excuse me, that is now obsolete, meaning it's no longer effective, it's no longer efficient, it's no longer helping you progress to where you want to go, to become the person you want to be, to move forward, then it's time that you consider whether or not you should let it go. Because if you really want to go to that next level, then guess what? Sometimes it calls for being willing and being open to letting things go. And lastly, it's not helping you grow or evolve, which again could tie into number 4. It's not serving its purpose. But when I think about growth, when I think about evolving, I mean specifically becoming the person you need to be to do the thing or the things that you are called and created to do. So whatever those things are that you're called to do, whatever purpose that the Lord has you here to serve, think about how the people you have in your life are either helping you do that thing or those things, or being a hindrance to you. Think about the things you're connected to. Are those things keeping you from being successful, from being able, from being willing to serve your mission? Or I shouldn't say serve your mission, but walk out your purpose is a better phrase for it. So as you think about your purpose, as you think about what it is you want to do, maybe you don't know your purpose, but as you think about what you want from life and in life, are you attached to things that are keeping you from getting what you want, what you desire? Because if you are, then it just may be time for you to let that thing or those things go. And so I want to give you this pro tip. Here's a question that you can ask. And it goes like this. Excuse me. Lord, my head is itching, y'all. Forgive me. This is a question. How is this person or thing helping me improve my health, get clarity, direction, decide the next best step, or become a better person? I'm going to say it again. How is this person or thing helping improve my health, helping me to become clearer, helping me decide the next direction I need to take, or the next best steps I should take, or become a better person? So as you reflect on that question, remember, it's for you to answer so you can really determine whether or not you are holding on to a person or a thing that you need to subtract, meaning take it out, pull it away, minimize it, or completely disassociate with it or with them from being in your life. Because you know that plants they go through phases. But as human beings, we too go through phases. And so it's okay to subtract certain people or certain things out of your life. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to be permanent, But depending on the season you're in, that may be what's best for you to do. So I want you to know, if we don't take the time to reflect on our values, then the things that we say we want, well, we won't get them. Because just like plants go through phases, as humans, we too go through phases. But if we don't take the time to reflect on where we are, what phase and stage of life we're in, we can find ourselves connected to people and things that are an obstacle, that are a deficit to us. And sometimes the biggest obstacle that we need to overcome is ourselves and the perception that we have of the things and people that are currently in our lives. And so I want you to know that sometimes we want to evolve our lives, but we're tethered to a lifeline that's drowning us. As always, I'm Coach Sam telling you, 24 hours doesn't seem long, but in 24 hours you could change your life. So go ahead and do something life-changing now.